Hi, I'm Adriana Galinek, your embodiment and relationship coach, and this is my podcast. I spend most of my time reconnecting relationships, diving deep between the land of energy, and helping those couples, ignite that spark back in the bedroom. This podcast is for the universal, spellbinding people who love a little woo-woo and a thunder of truth. You're listening to Love, Sex, and Energy. Let's jump in. Hey, welcome to another episode of Love, Sex, and Energy. I'm your host, Adriana Galinek, and today we're talking about feeling stuck. Now, I don't know if you're out there listening at times where you might feel suffocated in your own space. Life is playing its course, but you just can't seem to breathe because it's feeling like it's caging in on you. And often when we are feeling this, it's when we're not aligned and we are feeling that, we have high expectations of our life and what we want to achieve and how we want to achieve it and when by we want to achieve everything. And it becomes a constant reminder of, when you're not achieving it to the day or to the point or, the expectations of making sure that we are hitting our goals, it becomes very suffocating. We start feeling trapped. We start feeling like we're stuck. And I feel the same. Like I felt this way, I would say quite a while. Last year was a big turn for me where I just felt like I'm not doing what I need to do and I know what I should be doing. And I just felt constricted, suffocating, stuck. And I know with a few of my clients that I've been speaking with lately, they feel the same. And they've either had one extreme have had a baby recently or the other extreme of where their babies are grown and they're feeling almost like their identity has shifted. Their identity has changed because they haven't got that control over where they see themselves or, what's been happening and what's going to happen. Now, on the best of days, we always say that if you're not changing, you're not growing. So, human change is the only constant that is happening and we should be embracing that. And when we're not embracing change, it's because we are stuck in our own ego. Yep. We're stuck in our own ego because, if it's comfortable, right? If life is comfortable, we don't need to change. But eventually that becomes suffocating. And when there is change, we don't know how to embrace it because we have full control over the situations, the events that are happening. And it's not by fault, it's just something that we've adapted to survive, right? And if you're a mum or just had kids, or you're on the other extreme where you haven't had kids and you are feeling stuck and unsure or where or what that looks like for you, it's because there isn't enough change happening. And without the change, we're not growing, we're not adapting, we're not moving through. And sometimes it could be really hard. Sometimes we don't even know what's waiting for us, or we're too scared, or we're too comfortable being in the same spot. And when we're like this, it does become suffocating. We do feel as though we are feeling like we're stuck in a little box, like, yeah, let me out. And I know, weird, but true. And, over time, unless we have things to plan forward and to look forward to and to be excited over, really, what we're doing is stopping ourselves from growing. So if I was to speak to one of my clients who've just had a baby, and she said to me, look, I'm feeling like I need some time out. I need some time out, but it doesn't feel as though I'm being heard. So raise your hand up out there if you're feeling that, after you've had a baby, like you just need to get away. You don't want to look at anyone. Even, and you know what, it's really funny. It's not even getting away into another accommodation or something. It's actually just, let me stay in my own home in my PJs and you all get out so I can enjoy my space. That kind of set of freedom. And, being able to ask for what you need is really interesting. And it's funny because a lot of the clients that I'm getting is like, yeah, we have a great relationship. We're amazing. We're on board. We're feeling the best, we love each other and all this stuff. But when it comes to asking things for yourself that you need, it becomes really hard. Like just, hey, I just need some time for myself, almost feels as though that we are selfish. We are asking for too much because we know that everything around us is happening, but we don't know how to, I guess, control that because we're so used to the control, and just surrender to just lifting it up and going, yeah, I just need some time. And the funny thing was that their partner said, hey, just so you know, I'm going away on this day, blah, 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 for the weekend. And there was no question. It was almost inevitable because she's got everything under control, right? The cooking and the cleaning and the kids and the looking after a newborn baby, all this kind of stuff. There was no like, oh, are you going to be all right? Can I organise something for you? And we women tend to dive into all those nitty-gritties and have to plan everything and organise everything and make sure everything's done just to allow us to have the escape. And you know what? I'm always, pro, like if you've got to organise things to the T just to get out of the house, do it. And, I did this when this is going back way 10 years ago, more than 10 years ago, when I was in Egypt, and I had a 6-month-old baby. I had 3 kids under the age of 3, and I just needed to escape, like literally get away from me. I just needed to feel like I was human again and my own person. I was starting to feel those overwhelming feelings of feeling stuck. And the moment that I made that decision that I'm going, it wasn't a question of can I, or, who am I asking permission from, really? It was a choice that I made. I'm actually going on this trip. This needs to be done. I'm happy to help organise things to this, and this, but this is what I need. And we made it happen. And it was all because I knew that if I didn't, I'd be suffocated and stuck, and that wouldn't help my family. That wouldn't help the kids. It definitely wouldn't have helped my husband or the people around us. Now, people on the outside, gosh, they're so good at judging and making a comment and having an opinion and all this stuff. And I was brave enough to just block it out and say, this is my life. This is where I'm going. This is what I need. And it really doesn't need to uphold to anybody else's opinion except myself and my partner's choice. So when we're feeling stuck, it's often when we're not being able to express ourselves. We kind of lose our identity. We kind of filter through those feelings of, I used to be like this. I used to be like that. And then we can't get in touch with where we're heading. So if I was to change the situation and talk about another client who has older kids, and the routine's great, the family life is amazing, they are doing what they need to do, but somehow they feel stuck. It's not often that, it could be the other extreme where, it's not finances, it's not asking for permission, it's about allowing yourself to let go and surrender, and allowing your body to know what it is that it wants and that it needs. And it's funny, when I'm doing this work with clients, I tend to always get to the feeling of, and they're different, obviously, based on each person, but I work with them to find out and identify what's linked between what they're saying and what they actually need. And a lot of the time, it's freedom. The word freedom is so powerful because when I work with men, freedom is not the actual word that they seek or they say. But for women, it's freedom. It's freedom, like feeling there is no responsibility, no obligations, there's nothing to worry about but themselves. And when they're finished having kids and they're stopped having that full control over what they can do, who's going where, what's happening, and life is actually quite balanced and looking great, they're stuck going, oh, I'm not needed anymore. Now what? And it doesn't matter how much they've gone out. It doesn't matter how much they plan. It's about identifying within themselves, oh, something's a little bit off inside and I just can't put my finger on it. And so taking you through that process, getting people to write down things that they love and enjoy and what brings the spark, it's a really tricky question for those that aren't actually connected to themselves. If I was to ask you, when was the last time you were happy? I mean, busting for like joy, excitement, giddy, I was on top of the world, that fun, exciting feeling. Often the answer is, I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one. It's been a long time. Gosh, I don't know. And then they pop open a memory that made them feel elated, like so energetic. And then they start deepening themselves into, God, I miss that old me. And it's really funny over time, we have our responsibilities, and time is as quick as you want it to be. For me, everyone always says, how much time do you have in a day? I have lots. Time doesn't equate to the things that I can achieve in a day. But it's really funny when I speak to people about how they see themselves and where time is versus really where time is. It's just mind-boggling, because they feel stuck, they're feeling overwhelmed, they're feeling like, they've set the bar, they've got these high expectations of what life should look like, what life will be like. All in all, they hate the change. Let's not change. We don't want to change. We like that. We like the feeling of control. Let's not change anything because, it gets scary. But they know that they need to do something. And then they bounce off one wall, bounce off the other, bounce, and they still stuck in the same position. Now, change is linked to feelings of, I guess, feeling excited, feeling a frequency that it's lifting, that it's changing, that's evolving. And this frequency that I keep talking about, and this word of energy really helps, because when I say to you, hey, what are the top 10 things that make you happy? What is it that brings you joy? We sit down, we talk about it. I send them away and get them to reorder it. Once they understand, we dive in deeper and how those things relate to them. And then when we come back, or they've sent me their affirmations, because I like to affirm, affirming affirmations are really important when you are using them correctly. And there are so many people that might possibly have an idea of affirmations. They're usually I am statements, like I am this and I am that, but there's no feeling, right? There's no excitement. There's no, that feels right. So when we sit there, when we compile these affirmations, I get them to do it first, because they need to be relatable to themselves, and they have to link to things that they've noticed that they haven't been receiving lately. And then I take them, and then I intuitively kind of reconstruct them in the way that I need them to obtain them, where they can receive these affirmations and, utilize them with the right kind of frequency. And if you guys are wanting that, please DM me, send me in your affirmations, and I will rejig them for you and I will email them, so you can have your own affirmations, your own set of affirmations that are linked to you. But if you want to do some more work with me and understand why you're feeling that way, please DM me and I'll reach out to you. So moving on from that, creating these affirmations like I did for this client is about rebirthing yourself and regrounding yourself into your belief system. You see, you can have everything around you that seems picturesque. It looks like everything's in order. It looks happening, but inside yourself is not matching. The frequency inside you is not matching the outside. And if you are a light worker like myself and you work in energy, well, that's what I pick up pretty quickly. And I'm like, cool bullshit, when they're like, yeah, this is amazing. And I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, no, not really. And we start dabbling in a little bit more about things like that. And, it's one thing for me to affirm things for myself and to say, hey, this is what you need. This is where things are going. But the biggest thing and the biggest achievement is knowing and being aware yourself that you are in need of a change. That's the key. That is like that missing piece of, oh, okay, if I'm letting go of all expectations in my life and I am surrendering to my life ahead of me, I don't want to take control, that is the biggest answer for you. I can't explain this more enough, how important it is not to, yes, to some degree there's control, obviously, but there's a part of you in your heart where you can open and you can release that energy and allow yourself to breathe and reconnect to yourself and find that beauty that's inside that doesn't need to live up to anyone's expectations except yourself. And sometimes our own expectation are the hardest and the highest and the most, outrageously high that we have to achieve, that we're in a constant disappointed mood, like that movement, I'm sure you're out there who's listening has gone up. Yep, that's me, nodding your head, going, because we've all done it. We've all done, where we've raised the bar and then we're almost the pity party inside of us almost confirms us. See, yeah, that's right. I can't do that. Can't do that. See, I've just proved that I can't do it, rather than embracing the changes that are ahead of you. So if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling like, and you can't put your finger on it, please go back and start with the 10 most amazing feelings in your life where you feel that buzz, and use that energy, the energy inside of you, to create your affirmations, so you know where the source is starting from. So we're not setting in a lower vibration, we're starting at a really good vibration, because we know what that feels like. We know, we can sense it. We have a memory. We know what that looks like. And start affirming things that you need, things that you want, things that you want of yourself. And for myself, when my husband left me all those years ago, I thought I was really shit. Like, I thought I was a really crap person, that, I've done everything that everyone else wanted me to do, right? But I actually wasn't being authentic to myself. And knowing deep inside, if I had changed a few things, would life be different? And the answer is no, because life is meant to be exactly where it is. But it was reaffirming for myself that I am great, that I am worthy, that I'm worth more, that I need to surrender, that I can't control what's happening next, but I can control where I'm at in my life. And if you need any help, please reach out. Hopefully that was a great episode for you. Please click onto my socials. If you have any questions and you want to reach out and you want some more answers, or you want to know a little bit more about certain topics, I'll be happy to bring that up in future episodes. Until then, shine bright, and I'll talk to you later. And that's it for another episode of Love, Sex and Energy. Connect on all socials at Adriana Galinek. Hit the follow button, share with friends, and if you have some time, write a review. As they say, the energy flows in universal ways, so always remember to shine bright. Till next time, see ya.